In an OR motion, there's two overriding things that the judge considers. The first is, and really the most important, whether the defendant poses a risk to the community. So the judge will look at, does this person have a history of violence? Is he charged with a violent crime, such as domestic violence or robbery or battery? Is there a risk if he's released that he might go and attack the victim in the case or witnesses in the case? If the judge feels that there's a risk that the person will go out and commit more crime and endanger people in the community, then the judge is probably not going to grant an OR release or even a bail reduction for that matter. And there was a recent case here in Los Angeles County out of the Pomona court where actually a person was sentenced to state prison and the judge granted the defendant an OR release so he could stay out of custody until his surrender date. And when he was released, the person actually went out and killed the victim in the case and then shot himself. And this got national news coverage. The judge in the case took a lot of heat for granting the OR release. And especially after that incident, judges are really gun shy at granting an OR in a situation where they feel there's any danger that the person may go out and commit violent crimes. The second thing that judges will consider, the second most important thing, is whether the defendant is what we call a flight risk. And that means that the risk or the likelihood that the person will go on the lam and run and flee and not come back to court to face the proceedings. So the judge will look at whether the person has a history of failing to appear for court proceedings, whether the person has ties to the community. So that means a local job, a local family, a home. Do they own property? The more the person has ties to the community, the more it's believed that they are going to be unlikely to flee the jurisdiction. On the other hand, if the person is transient, if they are unemployed, if they've only lived here a short time, if they have ties to Mexico, where authorities would not necessarily be able to go and find them and bring them back if they did flee. In these situations, the person would be deemed to be more of a flight risk, and the judge would be less likely to grant an OR release.